Hi everyone, welcome back to Amy's Little Homestead. Well, I hope you've enjoyed Martin Luther King and Inauguration Day here on January 20th, 2025. So it's super cold here in central Oklahoma and I can't wait any longer. It's time for me to start some seeds. And I thought, what a great way to sort of show you my setup. So this is all new for me this year and how I'm starting seeds. And so we'll see if it works or not, and hopefully it does. But I just wanted to give you a quick tour of what we're doing and how I go about starting my seeds. And so let's start the tour. So first off, I just have one of the big racks that you would buy at Sam's. In fact, I think that's where I got this one at. All of my trays and my little 6-packs here, and as you can see, they do air prune the roots. Came from Bootstrap Farmer off of Amazon. And then same thing with my lights, came off of Amazon, and some of them, it's a mix. My brother one year for Christmas bought me a heat pad just from like Home Depot, and then I bought several of them off of Amazon as well, and they all work equally as well. But so that's how I do my grow racks. I could probably do it in my food room, but it's pretty tight in there, and so I decided I was going to try it out here in the dining area. So, and as you can tell, I do 4 grow lights, and these are all LED grow lights, and I've got multiple years on some of these lights right now. And so I do 4 grow lights on each shelf, and I have, if you can see the white box down here, I have another 4 there. And as you can see, I have found a water sprayer is the best way to water all of my stuff to keep the soil moist, and so that's sort of how I go through that. And the plastic domes I have just sort of collected over the years. They don't get used very often. It's just this, pretty much just one time a year. But as you can tell, the 6-packs are a lot sturdier, so you can reuse them year after year, but you can't crush them. And I really do like that they air prune the roots for me. And then the trays themselves are really thick and heavy and won't crush, and so that's sort of why I like using them. Now, for my soil medium, the way I am doing it this year, I'm trying something new, and let's see if we can't do this a little bit better way here. We'll sort of see what we've got going on here. But these are coconut core bricks, and I just got them off of Amazon. They come in like bread pan size, and they're about about an inch and a half thick, and you just add water. And there were 6 bricks in mine, and that one finally dissolved. And it took probably 3.5, if not 4 gallons of warm water to fully absorb these. It's moist, and you can see I can squeeze out some water, but it's not overly wet. It's not just drenched, so it's pretty good. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some perlite to this. That just helps lighten the soil up a little bit more. Okay. And it just helps keep the soil from compacting, which I don't think I'll really have too much of an issue with this year with the coconut core. Some years I have not had good luck with the seed starting mix that you can buy at like the Fairy Morse. So I'm sort of trying something new out. So the coconut core has a lot of vitamins and minerals already. Same thing with the perlite. So we're going to do that, and then when have the seeds in the in the 6-packs, and they're in there, we're going to cover them with just a really light dusting of vermiculite, because that will help keep it from getting sort of that mossy that seems to grow a lot of the time. And so that's sort of what I found, that over the past couple of years really helps when starting seeds. So yeah, so now I'm just getting in here and getting this all mixed up. Getting the vermiculite. It looks like little pebbles of styrofoam, That's what I think it looks like. But yeah, just get, nothing beats getting your hands in the dirt, I think. It's one of my favorite things to do. And it's the 20th of January. I've started seeds earlier sometimes, but then I'm gonna try and hold off a little bit this year and really wait until at least mid-March for the majority of the things that I'm going to plant. My tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers and some of that kind of stuff will be even a little later than that. Okay. So as you can see, and I don't measure very much. Sorry, folks. That is not how I roll. I just try and get it so that you have some of the vermiculite, just so it's going to keep it from really compacting too much in there on you. And so the way I like to do it then, and this is just a big old tote from Costco, so it makes, I found it works really well, and I can put the lid back on it and it'll keep everything moist. If I'm going to be back in it here in the next day or so, which I probably will be. And so I want to show you, so I did do 6 of the trays that I potted up before I put in the perlite. And so we're going to see, hopefully we can sort of watch what happens in the difference between these with the perlite and those without the perlite, and see if it's really worth it. The perlite's not super expensive. I was able to get mine at Lowe's today, and so it's, I think it was $10, $7, so it's not very expensive for the whole bag. So that's what we do. Just fill up our little 6-pack trays, like so. Just wipe them off. You could also use this for soil blocking if you wanted to do soil blocking. I do have a soil blocker. I have never, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know if it's my soil blocker or not, but it's been really hit or miss for me. So we're going without soil blocking this year. So there is the soil, and that's all for that. And this first batch I'm gonna do is just gonna be herbs, is what I had decided I wanted to do my first batch in. So let's get this up here. And now, the really important part for me is to mark it. So I have found Gorilla Tape works really well, and you wanna get the industrial Sharpie. If you can, they have them at Lowe's and Home Depot, but they stay with higher temperatures, which can be really important when stuff goes, if it's gonna go outside and get really hot. So, and the easiest way I have found to do this is I just put all across this bottom side here, I will put a strip of my tape, and I will just mark it off at each section, and we'll write on what it is. So let's see here if we can get this. Oh, come on now. This is what happens. Gorilla Tape's strong. Maybe we can get it off. We'll see. Okay. Once you get it going, you're okay. There we go. Okay. Do separate these out, which I like to be able to do, because then I have this nice little trough and I can put my water once the plants have started to grow a little bit, and I found that just is really, really helpful for me. So to start, I want to start with, I pulled them out of my, I don't know if you've ever seen these. If you have a Hobby Lobby or a arts and crafts store, these are the photo keepers, and that's what I keep all of my seeds in, and I have them separated out, and then I put all the seeds that I'm going to plant in one and can take it out to the garden with me, and it keeps them dry and just sort of keeps them so I don't have seed packets flying all over the place, because Oklahoma, the wind blows all the time. But anyways, on this batch, I think I want to do like peppermint and some spearmint, because I do have a spot on the side of the house, on the west side of the house, that is enclosed, so it would be great for the mints, I think. I also want to try some stevia. I've gotten a stevia batch from Baker Creek, which I love their seeds, and this was from a couple of years ago, so I really do need to see if it will even work, because I'm not sure if it will or not. I'm going to grow some lemon balm, so we're going to do that, and then some echinacea. Those will take a long time to go, but it will be great. I'm super excited about that too. And then, I don't know, I think I may try some wild bergamot. And then my next tray will be all of my herbs, probably. So I'm going to do some thyme, oregano, basil, sage, and then this is the Genovese. The other basil is a sweet basil, so a sweet and a Genovese basil. I also have some rosemary and some marigolds and some comfrey, because comfrey really does help pull a lot of nutrients from deep in the earth up towards the soil, to your topsoil, so that it can help feed your plants. And so it's just a really good thing. And then once the plant gets going, you can cut the leaves off about every week and a half, 2 weeks or so, and just use them as a top dressing, and it will put a lot of nitrogen into your soil. And so I really am learning a lot about comfrey this year. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next, I'm going to mark my trays here, where I'm going to have all of my different plants. Okay, and so this is going to be peppermint. And I do put the date I sow stuff, so I know, just because I like to know how long stuff is taking. And some stuff takes longer to germinate than others, and that's another thing to take into account when you are germinating your seeds and growing your own seeds, because you want to know if things that take longer, so some of the seeds will take up to 21 days to germinate. So you want to put all of those seeds that are going to take up to 21 days to germinate together, and then the shorter days you can put in together, because that way when you have your dome on top of them, you can leave the dome on, and it keeps that nice moisture in there for all of your plants. Let's see here. Okay. And the next step is going to be my lemon balm. When I show you my writing, don't anybody laugh. I just do it quick, down and dirty on this. So echinacea. And then the last is going to be the wild bergamot. I have never grown wild bergamot. Have any of you grown it before? I'm sort of excited to try it. I know you can use it as a tea, and so I have that freeze dryer, and I might try and see about freeze drying it and seeing how that works as a tea. But so you can see, I have all of them labeled, and I just lay. It works out really well. I can lay it all out here on my deal, and I just open it up and cut them in. So Botanical Interest has the prettiest packages with beautiful drawings of it, and they give you a lot of information on their seeds. And you can even cut out, and have your put the date that you've sown your seeds on, and it tells you how long it takes to emerge and the seed depth that you want. And usually the seed depth is pretty equivalent to the size of the seed. So if you look, these wild bergamot seeds are very, very tiny. But we're going to put a couple in each cell just to get them going. And like I said, these ones are a little bit longer of a germination, but we'll see how they do. There we go. Okay, next up is the echinacea. And again, the echinacea is 10 to 20 days, like the wild bergamot was over, what it said, 14 to 21 days. So, and these are 10 to 20 days for the echinacea. So, pretty close in the time range. So, some of them will probably germinate right about the same time, and I'm sure there will be some that don't. A little bit bigger seed, so it'll be a little bit, I'll press these down in. I love the flowers on the echinacea. And I found the bees seem to like them too, which I really enjoy. Some places are starting to get some of their spring stuff out, I've noticed. So you are starting to see like the asparagus plants. And I am going to plant a lot of cannas around the west side of my property, of my house, because I love cannas. I think they are so pretty, and that's something we have a lot of here in Oklahoma. And they grow really well here. So again, they sprout for the stevia 7 to 21 days. So you never know how long they're going to go. Like I said, these were seeds from back in 2023. So I don't know how well they are going to germinate. And can you even see how small those little seeds are? There's just a few in there. But we're going to try them and see how we do. Hopefully we have some luck, because I'd like to have a little stevia. Ooh. Don't want to lose you, because there aren't very many seeds in here. That's something I am slowly starting to learn a little bit about, and that is seed saving. And I do not claim to be an expert at it. I know there's a real trick to it, and some things do better than others. Some things are a lot easier to start from seed than others. Let's see, there we go. Oh, we got a few more in here. They were very hard, they're sticking to the plastic, so they're very hard to get going here. So we'll see. There we go. Okay. So, oh, there's one more in here. Let's get it out. I'm not going to waste any of these if I can. Help it. There we go. Okay. Now I want to show you before, this video is getting a little long, so let's get moving here a little bit. But I want to show you how I do the vermiculite on top here. So it's just a really light dusting that you'll put on top of your seeds. And you can tell where you've planted it at. And so you just put a thin layer, trying to keep it from going down, but it'll cover your seeds, and it retains moisture really well, so it helps keep those seeds wet as well, which is a good thing. So here we go. Just spread it out. And again, the vermiculite I got off of Amazon again. I should do an Amazon store so you can see all the stuff I got, because I get a lot of stuff off of Amazon. The organic coconut coir was a new one for me. I had been seeing a lot of it, and I'm like, well, some people have said they have had very good luck with it, so I'm excited to try it and see how it does this year. So there we go. And that's all we're doing. I will mist these, and then once they're all planted up, they will go on the rack with the heat pad on underneath it, and we will wait a couple days and see how we're doing with germination. And I will hopefully be back next week to show you how we are. Really appreciate you coming around and watching this video. If you would, I'd really appreciate any likes. And if you have any comments or questions for me, feel free to ask. I'd love to help you out. Hope you all have a blessed day, and thank you very much. Bye.